LaMelo Ball, NB1, the one of one, and the Charlotte Hornets, they have been a complete disaster. Listen, Lou Williams, yes, Lou Will has came out with some emphatic statements. He is pointing the finger at LaMelo Ball, NB1, the one of one, and letting it be known that this was the same guy that people were petitioning to make the All-Star team. So it's pretty harsh. It's some harsh statements. We got to keep it all the way 100. It's not easy, but at the end of the day, the Hornets have been getting completely annihilated. This ain't for the weak-hearted. Somebody has to pay for what's taking place right now. LaMelo Ball is a part of this. We just got to call it how we see it. The Hornets, they gave up. I mean, I don't even understand what's to play for at this point. I don't even know if it's light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of people talk about Cooper Flag. A lot of people talk about Ace Bailey. There's no telling that the Hornets are going to get any of these guys. They very well could end up with the 10th pick in the draft with all of this craziness going on. There's no telling that they'll get the first pick. I don't know. I don't even know if they're tanking or they're just that damn bad. A lot of people are not keeping it 100 with the Charlotte Hornets. This has been a hard watch. If anybody's paying attention to any Hornets games, it's not easy to pay attention to the games. You got these guys just what's going on? Charles Lee has been a complete failure. We just got to keep it real with you. You got the Hornets are just getting hammered. And what I see is all of this is taking place after All-Star break. I do believe that LaMelo not making the All-Star team, that was a gut punch to the Charlotte Hornets, because they were horrendous, yes, but they wasn't getting blown out by 50 and 40 and 30, and none of this was happening. Getting blown out by 130 something points, in the course of a couple of, I mean, this is not good. you know, um, this kind of play, you trade LaMelo Ball if you the Charlotte. You think you did you see with the Hornets? Did you see they just let go of Luka Doncic? You know, do you think they're gonna offer LaMelo Ball a super max with this horrendous play that's taking place? You know, the Hornets at this point they just need to get a reboot. Period. They it starts at the top. When you hire no name guys, you get no name results. You know, Peterson. Who the hell is Jeff Peterson? We tried to coach up these guys. You got the Rick Snows, all of these are new people. You understand? Nobody knows these guys. Who have they employed? They go out and get Charles Lee. This is just sad. You got if you are trying to turn around an organization, you got to get somebody in here to revamp it all. You did. I mean, you need to get James Borrego back. This is sorry. James Borrego should be rehired. They need to fire Charles Lee and rehire James Borrego. The Charlotte Hornets are horrendous. When they was under Borrego, if I'm not mistaken, they had the number one offense. We need to look back at the Borrego days, at the trajectory of the Hornets. And since they fired him, what has taken place? The Hornets have went completely to the cellars. They are not competitive. You know, and then the trade with Mark Williams. You telling me that wasn't an issue? I mean, that was big business. Them losing the Mark Williams dynamic. Mark Williams not being moved and not getting connect and Reddish and those pick. They had plans for that. All of these things hit the organization hard. They still living off that Laker game. If anybody's paying attention to Hornets Instagram, Hornets Twitter, you got Mark Williams and LaMelo eyeballing that Laker game and hyping it up, and it just wasn't a good look, especially after the way they getting beat down. People, and I'm talking to you right now before the Mavericks game. Who's to say Dallas don't roll in there and blitz them by 50? So I mean, this is the how sorry is this going to get? LaMelo should be shut down. They're going nowhere. What are you playing for? They didn't show you no love for the All-Star team. LaMelo should have made the All-Star team. I'm not going to hold this against him. At this point, the Hornets done gave up. The season is over. It's over. There's nothing to, before it was LaMelo making it to the All-Star team. Now they showed their hand with him. They not messing with Melo. Even with the injuries, he still didn't get in. The only reason why you couldn't say LaMelo's an All-Star is because his team. You got to look at the organization. I look at Detroit. Look what they did. They had my man from Phoenix. He was supposed to be the savior. They was getting beat down. They let him go. Monty Williams. Monty was supposed to be the guy. They brought in Bickerstaff. They didn't bring in a coach that was a young coach who could gel with Cade Cunningham, and they brought in Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff, worked his way up the ranks. He was a career assistant coach. He eventually worked his way up to a head coach. You seen what he did in Cleveland, and then now you see him coming to Detroit. You got to bring in guys like that who've been around, to navigate. Why would you bring Charles Lee, who's never coached, but he should have been the assistant? Why would you make it? They need to put Charles out of his misery, because you're gonna end up firing him after next year anyway. This is sorry what you have done, what you've done. Period. The Hornets ain't gonna never get right. They need to fire. Peterson need to get let go. The ownership need to step in and fire everybody. Peterson putting all this together. He's bringing in people that don't know nothing. What the hell is going on? LaMelo, at the end of the day, hold him accountable. He's on the floor. I believe LaMelo should be traded, because I believe his star power is just obviously tremendous. But when you are around this situation, you don't got the right people who's going to put the personnel around you. Every player has, strengths. Every player has things they don't do so well. The Hornets don't put the people around LaMelo to make sure he does well. You understand? They don't. He needs to get around a team that has a proven medical, staff that keeps their players available. He needs to get around it. Look what Fox did. He left Phoenix. He left Sacramento. Pardon me. Where did he go? San Antonio. They is a proven situation. They're gonna put the right situation around him. That's what LaMelo needs. LaMelo needs to go to a team like Miami. Around a culture, around a system, with some values, and is a certain way the organization is going to be withheld. They're going to put in the right personnel to bring your game to life. The Hornets have not brought LaMelo's game to life, and what they've done, we're bringing in all of these idiots. This is really just, I believe, destroyed, somewhat of LaMelo's competitiveness in the NBA, because LaMelo never made the All-Star team. Look at Cade Cunningham. He's headed to the All-Star team. All of these players, Orlando, all of these teams, you look at the personnel, they draft better. TJ has been a disaster. I don't care what nobody got to say. The kid is a bust until proven otherwise. I'm about to get real bullish on these Charlotte Hornets, man, because I've really been holding my tongue. Pause. I'm going to leave it at that. It's Flight Sports TV. We back with it. We got a lot of content I got to get off my chest, man. Bear with me. It's Flight Sports TV. You already